What is up, NPBF coaches and fans alike, Frontier, fam, and whoever just so happens to find this channel? We are back once again for Week 9 of Season 15 of the NPBF. This is the final week for trades and transactions. After this week, everyone's team is locked. And after this week, we are going into our divisional rematches. So, it'd be nice to see how all the teams have grown and changed throughout the season and how they interact with each other this time around. It's going to be a wild, wild ride. These next 3 weeks are going to be crucial for a lot of people's playoff hopes, so definitely stay tuned to see all of that. But we're here in Week 9. I am not alone. I am once again joined by a former champion, coach of the Greenwich Guillotines, the man who has been killing it this season, my boy Alex. What's going on, buddy?
Hello. Looking to make that a 2-time champion now.
Listen, the way you've been playing this season, that's completely on the table. It's entirely a possibility, and I would not be upset to see it happen.
Yeah, but I think a lot of other people would be.
Well, they'll get over it. Maybe if they get upset about it, maybe they should just be better. But
yeah, quite possibly.
But a lot of good games this week. A lot of solid matchups this week. Obviously, we have to address the elephant in the room. We discussed it last week. There was not a game. There was only 7 games this week. The Really Boomers and Jamie has left the league, and due to where his record was sitting, there was really no point in forming a replacement. So all of his games for the remainder of the season are forfeits. So this week, I believe the forfeit win goes to Eric and the East Coast Aegis Slashers, so Eric gets a nice free win.
Yep.
No differential boost, and yeah, good for Eric. Way to go. Well done, buddy.
Indeed. Trying to keep himself delayed from hitting dealer.
Yep, hey, every win counts. Every win helps, so it never hurts.
Yeah.
If you can get a freebie here and there, you might as well take it.
Indeed.
These coaches, however, did not get any free wins, and they had to really work through these matches. So let's hop right in to our first battle, which is going to be Jason and the Niflheim Nine Tailors taking on Anthony and the Windy City Bolt Strikers. Anthony's got his lovely Zardex, Clef, Gligar, Starmie, Sneasel, Breloom, taking on the dominant Mega Lopunny, Ditto, Ferrothorn, Latios, Togekiss, and the Slowking from the Ninetales. So, on paper, what are you thinking of this matchup here, Alex? What stands out to you?
That's a good question. I think it's kind of even on both ends. Obviously, there's a lot here that Lopunny doesn't want to deal with between Clef and Gligar and Starmie. But at the same time, Zardex has a bit of trouble, because other than Ferrothorn, he's not really doing a whole lot. He needs to set up. He could have some difficulty breaking through Slowking. Ditto's going to present an issue and is going to keep him from setting up until the time is right, or until Ditto's gone, realistically.
Mm-hmm.
Togekiss isn't going to be easy to break through. It looks like Anthony's going to have to play the long game if he wants to take this one.
Definitely. One thing I am noticing that is looking like a bit of a sleeper threat you didn't bring up is the Breloom. Looking at Breloom in this matchup, especially if you can, in a lot of situations where you're going to be forcing something out, like if he's running Rock Tomb, he just clicks Rock Tomb every time he forces something out, and then he's faster than the Latios. He's guaranteed to outspeed the Togekiss, and he'll outspeed anything else. He'll at least speed tie with the Ditto, potentially, or outspeed it, because depending on how the speed calcs work, sometimes it ends up being 1 point below if it's like a Choice Scarf Ditto, and then he gets the drop. Sometimes it ends up being like 1 point below. So he might end up still outspeeding the Ditto as himself, and be able to fire off that extra damage. Mach Punch plus Bullet Seed just kind of wrecks a lot of things here, and like he can just run like a slightly stronger fighting type move to break through Ferrothorn. Like this thing on paper just kind of wrecks stuff and really does a lot of damage if let to get going. So I see this thing
You make
being
a really
sleeper.
good point. I do agree. You make a really good point. Between Bullet Seed and honestly Mach Punch and Rock Tomb, Jason's team doesn't really have a whole lot to deal with Breloom short of Togekiss.
Yeah, like you can definitely revenge it, but like that's obviously like Anthony is gonna be prepared to deal with that. So it's like it's a tough scenario for him for sure. Definitely gonna be something to keep an eye out for this in this one. But let's see if the Breloom turns out as powerful as I think it's gonna be. Let's give it a look. Of course, the obvious lead.
Yeah, there's no reason not to lead and just click Fake Out so that you have the Mega up at any given point with this thing.
Yeah, it's a simple play, but it's there's no reason to not do it. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't like this scenario already.
Yeah.
I see a Togekiss and I see a Clefable trying to set up, and I already don't like this.
Unfortunately, there's just really nothing that Anthony can bring in to switch into Togekiss.
Yeah. I mean, nothing that comes in is going to appreciate the Air Slash. He has no flying resist, which is unfortunate in the situation.
Yeah.
Like, we don't know what kind of Togekiss this is. Obviously, we don't see any leftovers or anything on it. So, like, it could just be Choice Scarf, and if it's Choice Scarf, then it just beats. It just does what it just did here, and that was possibly one of the most. We're gonna go back real quick. We're gonna for y'all at home who might not have been counting. I like to count. I have an accounting degree for a reason. Turn 5, flinch. Turn 6, we get to call Mind Off. Turn 7, flinch. Turn 8, flinch. Turn 9, flinch. Turn 10, flinch. Turn 11, flinch. That is 6 flinches in 7 turns.
You hate to see it. Unless you're Jason, in which case you love to see it.
Oh, 100%.
Because that Clefable was a problem the way it was setting up. Realistically...
Why do they have to make it a double champ? When is the Serene Grace nerf? When's that one coming through? Because I feel like that one needs to happen.
I think they don't do it because it just takes so few Mons have it, Yeah,
it's just unfortunate that the ones that do have it consistently thrive because of it. It's like, if it was nerfed, you would stop seeing Jirachi, you would probably still see Jirachi, but not as often. But you would basically stop seeing Togekiss 90% of the time. Shaman Sky would just be kind of, It'd be an Uber that no one cared about.
Yeah.
That's just, any Pokemon that can do that so reliably is just disgusting.
Yeah.
That's just appalling behavior. And it's just, he just does it again. That's, like, half of his team is about to lose, and it is Scarf Togekiss, as I expected.
Yeah. That's Starmie.
He's essentially lost 3 Mons, more or less, to that one Togekiss, and that's just disgusting. Oh, the Thunder Wave was a good play. That was really good.
Essentially, now Zard is useless.
Yeah.
Amount of Dragon Dances he'll have to get up otherwise.
Yeah. Of course, it's Paraflinch, so it can't even remotely stay in on Togekiss at this point.
No. Which is such a problem.
I mean, at least he has the inner focus Sneasel to, like, avoid it, but at the same time, like, Sneasel can't take on a whole team by itself.
No.
Oh,
that was really smart on Jason's part.
Yeah, can't fault him for that one. That was. I think the play that I think I understand why Anthony went for that play. I think he kind of had to in case of the Togekiss coming in.
100%.
But man, if he had just gone for the Mach Punch, just attacked what was in front of him, would have been in a much, much stronger position because he would have been able to 1v1 the Ditto and preserve his Breloom. Unfortunately, though, that ends up being a powerful 4-0 for Jason with a very solid assist from that Togekiss. That Togekiss full on put the whole team on its back and said, "Here we go, guys. We're going to a win."
It did.
It
might be worth bringing Togekiss up to Tier 1 if we do 6th Gen again.
I wouldn't even argue about it, because, I mean, that was a +2 calm-minded Clefable.
Yeah.
And it just got invalidated completely by a series of 60% chances. And that's just, obviously it's the game we play, but like, man, you hate to see that. That's not the way you want to see someone take an L. That's so rough. And like, no fault to Jason at all. Like, absolutely, like,
he did what he had to.
Absolutely. Like, I will never fault anyone from utilizing these mons the way they are designed to be utilized. I have run Choice Scarf Jirachi, and I have flinched mons completely down that I was not supposed to. And that is okay. That is completely acceptable. It's a win con. It is a backup win con always. Period. Just because, like, you might not like it. It's not pretty. But, like, worst case scenario, everything goes wrong. You get hacked out or something on the rest of your team. You still have a backup plan, always. And I fully support that. But it doesn't make it easier to watch.
No, it really doesn't.
I definitely feel sorry for Anthony here. That's always a tough loss to take. But we all know Anthony will bounce back off of this.
Well, bounce back might be kind of terms. I think, realistically, rather than bounce back, I mean, yeah, Anthony will definitely get a couple more wins the last few weeks, but with the opponents he's had to face, he's going to have to spend the next few weeks just focusing on making sure he doesn't end up in the bottom two, which, lucky for him, Jamie just permanently occupies one of those spots, but he just has to make sure that he doesn't slip up and wind up in that other slot.
Yeah, definitely. So it's going to be a tough couple weeks for Anthony coming up. Hopefully he'll be able to maintain his position and avoid that demotion slot. So it's definitely something a lot of people are thinking about at this point.
Yeah, but I think not that Anthony is in super danger of it, but I don't think he'll hit it. He certainly doesn't. He's too good to go back to D-League again.
If you're down around like the 2 or 3 win range right now, like,
well, he is.
Yeah, I think everyone at this point, especially because it's the end of the season, everyone's turning up their game like to 1,000. It's one of those situations where it's like you can't second guess it. You can never expect anything. You never know what to expect around here because everyone just goes crazy these last couple weeks. So, yeah, big win for Jason there. Definitely one that he needed for sure.
For sure, he did need it, especially with the division he's got to deal with the last 3 weeks of the season.
Any win he can get is crucial. So definitely huge for him. That's going to be a big help going forward. Anthony's gonna be focusing on surviving the next couple weeks, but yeah,
anyone can. It's him.
Hopefully, the rest of the games this week we won't experience stuff like that again. Let's say that much. But that way, I think we shall move on to our next matchup. All right, Alex, let's break down this next game between James and the Myrtle Magikarps and Alan and the Manila Metals. What do we got?
Well, we got Mega Gyarados. I don't really know what else we have to say about it.
Let's be real. That's the way the season's gone for James. It's just put Mega Gyarados in the field. That's it.
But for sake of doing the recap justice. We got Mega Gyarados, Gengar, Leavanny, Uxie, Bisharp, and Torkoal for the Myrtles. And for the metals, we have Slowbro, Mega Absol, Thundurus, Therian, Cobalion, Snorlax, and Chandelure.
Ugh. The first thing I have to point out, and I feel like this needs to be discussed, why is Chandelure here? Listen, first of all, like, James has pretty much brought the same 6 Pokemon for, like, ages. Like, he has, like, one slot that he swaps in and out. He's basically been bringing the same 6 Pokemon. When 3 of those 6 are Mega Gyarados, Gengar, and Bisharp, why is there a Chandelure on my screen? You have no business.
It's just for Uxie and for Leavanny, but you don't have any business.
You have no business being here. This is like you walked in and you know you messed up, so you shouldn't be here. So
actually,
but at least the game is starting off 5-5.
I was crunching some numbers, and Chandelure is the only Pokemon so far for Alan's team that has appeared every week, for better or for worse.
That's certainly something. I mean, hey, you know what? At least he's consistent.
Yeah, but I would have thought it was Lando.
You would think it would. You think it should be. But hey, it's a game that's going to start off 5-5, so that's an interesting setup. But I think with the five real Mons here and the 5 real Mons over here, I think it's going to be a fairly even matchup for the most part. Cobalion looking real strong for the most part.
Cobalion looks really good. I don't understand why Absol's here. I'm going to be honest with you.
I think you just need something to outspeed the Gengar, maybe. And I think it does hit the Gyarados pretty hard.
Scarf Gengar ruins it. Leavanny with a Sash ruins it.
Yeah.
Bisharp ruins it.
I think on paper this is just a really tough matchup for his team.
I would have liked to have seen. I really would have liked to have seen Landorus here.
Yeah.
I would have liked to have seen. Honestly, I really wish that Alan hadn't traded Haxorus to Jesse.
What I'm confused by?
I think Haxorus was a big offensive piece that Alan's team really needs.
What I'm confused by is why Chandelure's here. Where the hell is Tangrowth?
Tangrowth I can kind of justify because of Torkoal and Leavanny, but like that was a Gyarados answer.
But like, you know, all right, you can just throw. You're still physically defensive. You're gonna tank a hit from Leavanny. You just tech on HP fire. Leavanny's a non-factor, and Torkoal's not a Pokemon. Yeah, and Torkoal's not a Pokemon, so that's also non-factor. So at the end of the day, like, Tangrowth is right here, and there's a Mega Gyarados right here, but there's no Tangrowth right here.
Yeah.
I see Mega Gyarados. I'm putting a physically defensive Tangrowth on my team every single time. There's no debate on this. If I have Tangrowth and there's a Mega Gyarados, it's the first one I build. It's the first mon you build.
I agree with you.
I am dumbfounded by that one. So hopefully it works out for him. Let's see what happens.
Snorlax into Uxie. We actually haven't really seen a whole lot of Snorlax this season.
Yeah, it's kind of just chilling.
On. Curse. Oh, it's a curse set. Okay.
Oh, that's going to be fun to deal with.
When Yuski's just content spreading Yawn, getting the Toxic on Uxie was really good.
Yeah. We get the U-turn.
Thunder's good. Wonder what he's... Oh.
Scarf Thundurus.
Scarf Thundurus.
That's deleted. And, oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
I mean, Cabalion's actually a pretty good switch here.
Oh no. That's a scary boy.
I mean, if that's...
Oh.
He brought 2 Scarfers.
Yep.
Unfortunately... No, he didn't. What? What?
Did James not run speed on his Gyarados?
He must not have. He didn't because he just swapped out from Thundurus.
Oh my.
That's bulky Gyarados.
That's
different.
That's very different. And no, that's a flame charging Chandelure. Okay. I like
I mean,
that.
that's not unheard of. That's good.
I like that. I enjoy seeing a flame charge tacked on to a special fire type. It's always a fun time.
Yeah.
Oh,
Day, though.
you know what, James? I know why you did this. I don't. It might not have been malicious at first, but that's a malicious call out on me because I've made fun of it for not having drought. So you put Sunny Day on your Torkoal. I get it. I understand.
Oh, but now that he's... Oh, you know what? It's because he brought Sticky Webs. He probably didn't put the speed in Gyarados for that very reason.
And he's got a Chlorophyll Leavanny as well as a backup plan, and it seems to be going particularly well.
Yeah, because even with the Protect... Oh, that was good.
That was a really good heal bell. Oh, no Sucker Punch? Why did you not...
Do we not have X-Scissor on Leavanny?
That's a great... No, he doesn't. He has Shadow Claw Leaf Blade. Why did he... Oh, because it's the... But why were you not Sucker Punch? Why did you not have Sucker Punch?
In Alan's defense, it's really, really tough to fill out all the move slots for Absol. Like, he probably had Clay Rough for Gyarados, for example.
Yeah.
Or Superpower, and, you know, needs knockoff.
I'm confused by the Rock Slide. Why was the Rock Slide there? Like, was that for Torkoal? Like, you're probably better off just hitting it with a knockoff or something.
Or it was for Gyarados, because James doesn't always Mega Evolve it. Why are we... Facade, didn't he show that he was immunity? Uh-oh. Recycling the Citrus Berry. How? Oh, because of the defense. I forgot about the fuck.
Yeah, that's scary. And he just has to keep clicking recycle. There's no reason for him to do anything else. And, like...
Yeah.
At this point, there's not much James can do about it.
Yeah.
He just kind of has to hope that... Oh, and he's already shown the Earthquake, so...
Oh, no, he didn't show
Earthquake
the ability.
plus Facade.
He did.
Yeah, that's rough, man. That's real rough.
Yeah.
I don't think he, like, outright wins with this. He might just outright win with this, actually.
I think, actually, he does. I don't think there's anything James can do.
Yeah. He needed, like, waterfall flinches at that point.
He needed waterfall flinches, and unless this was immunity, he needed to click Toxic.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't see why you don't bring immunity Snorlax to, like, any game.
Yeah.
Like, I think...
Unless you're dealing with, like, a super strong, like, fire situation, or you're, like, facing, like, a hail team, I think immunity is just better.
Yeah. I don't know. I think this is,
Yep. That's... Wow. Good bring on his part. The Curselax did work. The Curselax did a lot of work. I was getting...
Good job, Alan.
Yeah, good game. I mean, I'll admit, I was a little frustrated watching a 10% Leavanny 1v1 Omega Absol. Definitely, it's one of those moments that I sit there and I'm just like, why? This shouldn't have happened. Why?
No, it shouldn't have.
But, yeah, Curselax was a really, really good bring. Especially, you eliminated Gengar, and it went in. There was nothing he could do about it. Yeah. Once it got going, I mean, he clicked foul play, I think, for way too long. I think he just kind of let it happen for way too long. I think if he had probably U-turned out and tried to do the whole SD brick break with the Bisharp earlier, before he got to +3, maybe he could have been able to get past it. But because I would have forced him to have to start attacking sooner, so maybe he could have pulled something out there. But yeah, that was a good bring, and it worked like a charm. Very, very good stuff. Well played, Alan.
Yeah, well played indeed.
Yeah, good. Nice, solid match. Nice, solid match. I like that. Just straightforward, simple, but effective. Can't appreciate. Except for the sunny day on the Torkoal. James, I don't appreciate that.
Funny.
I do not appreciate it at all. I understand why you did it. I just don't appreciate it. Because it feels like a shot at me. And I just don't appreciate that at all. So, I recognize what happened. We can move past it. But know that I've seen what you did. I see it. And I don't appreciate it. But, good games overall. James, best of luck bouncing back in the divisional weeks. You got this, buddy. You have to make a Gyarados, so I don't really think you need anything else. And Alan, good win. Definitely a much-needed win. Any win he can get, I'm sure he will take.
Yeah.
But with that being said, I think it's about time to move on to game number 3. For our third match this week, we have Jesse and the J-Dog Jolteons bringing Florges, Crocodile, Volcanion, Azelf, Mega Beedrill, and the Dragonite against the most terrifying coach in the entire league, in my personal opinion. Late season Gav and the Venice Beach Victinis with his Diggersby, Zapdos, Seismitoad, Dusclops, Dragology, and Jirachi. And I say this because we have experienced this several times since the beginning of D-League. Is Gav falls behind a little bit, falls near the bottom of the pack, and he's in those like danger zone spots, right? Where he's close to being knocked to D-League. However, in some miraculous twist of events, no matter who he faces off against within the last like 5 weeks or so of the season, he becomes a different animal. He is someone you don't want to face in that time frame, especially if you're trying to preserve your record. Because he just kind of wins everything. He's untouchable in the final few weeks. It's terrifying.
And hilarious.
Yeah. So Jesse's the first one to walk into the Buzzsaw. Now it's looking like a pretty solid matchup on paper, for the most part. Azelf can kind of do some work here. Crocodile looking pretty snazzy as well. But will that matter against Gav's superpowers? I don't know. We'll see. Let's hop into this hopping into the danger zone.
That's ballsy.
I don't think that crit did not matter. You can't convince me that crit mattered.
No, because that thing is 100% specs.
Yeah. And that's rough, man. I get why he went for the Dragon Dance. Like, I could go for Dragon Claw and I mess him up. It'd be fine. No, it didn't matter.
No, you don't do that. You don't do that on Dragology.
No.
Not with that thing. That thing has adaptability.
Yeah. You're not taking that hit.
Especially the way you run Dragonite, Jesse.
Yeah. I liked that situation with Crook against the Dusclops.
With Pursuit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was really good. I'm glad to see somebody using Pursuit.
And I think that's one of like the first times I think I've seen it all season that I can remember off the top of my head. I just haven't seen it existing. I don't think anyone's really been utilizing it, and I think that's a shame. A sad shame.
Yeah. I've been wanting to... maybe that crit did matter. It depends on if Jesse was Inner Focus or multi-scale.
Yeah.
If it was multi-scale, it mattered. If he was Inner Focus, it didn't.
Yeah, I think that's fair to say.
But that's still an adaptability Draco Meteor from Dragon. Holy shit!
Yikes! On both ends, Jesus.
Mattered. That crit mattered.
I think it definitely did. Unless he was like Specs, because Specs Volcanion, people underestimate how ridiculous it is. It's the damage that thing outputs is on a level that I cannot verbalize. Why did you not just U-turn there? Like I know it was not like a great situation, but like,
oh my god,
why not? Oh, it was a scarf. It was a scarf diggy.
He still got outspit by Beedrill. Yeah, that makes sense actually.
That's wow. Diggersby putting in work. That was a quick match. Jeez, that's like...
Diggersby's really, really good, first of all.
Yeah, it's one of those mons that, like, you look at it and you're like, nah. And then you play against it, and then you're just like, oh.
And then it deletes you.
Oh, I don't have anything that switches into Diggersby. Well, I've lost. And actually, like, looking at the matchup on paper, like, he didn't have anything for Diggersby at all.
No.
He wasn't even Intimidate Crook.
Yeah. I think maybe Dragonite, if he got a couple D-dances up, could have been it, but...
Realistically, Diggersby comes in, he clicks return, and he's 2-KOing or OKOing everything on this team. Period.
Yeah. I can't believe we didn't see that at team preview.
Yeah, that's terrifying. That's one of those mons that, like I said, it always gets overlooked, and this is what happens when you overlook it. Simple as that. It's... Diggersby, though.
Overlook.
Earthquake, hit him below.
Oh, yes. Jeff with the throwback bars.
Hashtag bars.
My man CTC.
CTC, the god. The legend. The almighty.
I was listening to Shizzy on the way back from picking up dinner tonight, actually.
A man with taste, a man of culture.
6 seconds is really good, and all of you guys who Spotify, there may not be a beat drop in his music, but my man writes lyrics like nobody else, and the flow he has, the way he's able to perform is incredible.
If you like rap music, go check out 6 Seconds, 100%. You will not be disappointed, especially if you are a fan of people like Eminem, who have crazy, elaborate bars in their music.
Yeah, you will love him.
You will love...
He's so good.
You will love 6. 6 is top-notch. Shizzy's unmatched. He's absurd. The man is too good for this world.
Yeah, I'm surprised he's not, like, way bigger.
Facts, dude. Facts. But, wow. What can I say? What can we say about this game anyway? Like, realistically...
That was a shit show.
Yeah.
That was a shit show.
Late season Gav...
Who's covered in shit.
Late season Gav does it again. It is what it is. Late season Gav picking up a big win over Jesse. Jesse's going to have to really, like, pick it up and hang on for these last couple weeks going into the divisional rematches.
Yeah.
Definitely going to have to work hard for these. But Gav, well, I'm not worried about it. I'm not worried about Gav.
He's lucky. He has he's in Jamie division alongside me, so he does get one free win for the last 3 weeks.
Ain't that nice?
Which I think does pretty much guarantee that Jesse D-League.
Well, good for you, Jesse. You made it through. You survived. That's all that matters.
Yeah, nobody in my division's in danger of going to D-League at this point, I don't think. Unless, like, Gav wins out. But if Gav wins out, that means Alan's going to D-League. And if Alan wins out, that means Gav's going to D-League. The 3 people who are all in danger of going to D-League are all in the same division. And that is Alan, Gav, and Eric.
Love that. Love that very much. It's going to be a wild couple of weeks, but Gav, I'm not worried. I'm not worried about Gav.
I'm not worried about Gav.
Let's see what other craziness has happened this week to set up for late season Gav to run through. I predict a late season Gav sweep. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, me too.
But on to the rest of our games. All right, Alex, take us into our next matchup, and let's see what kind of nonsense we can get up to here.
Well, before we even break the teams down, I'm going to say I'm glad Shawnee is playing this game over James, because if James was here, we probably wouldn't be watching the game to completion.
That is completely fair. That is completely fair, and frankly, I don't blame him. I don't blame him in the slightest. I wouldn't. I'm the one who always preaches against forfeiting, but I don't think I would want to sit here through all this either. I've got other things I gotta do.
Looking at the teams, we got Liam in the Palms bringing Latias, Chansey, Milotic, Registeel, Piloswine, and Jolteon. And staring him down is Shawnee and the Z-Guardian Locos. Mega Gardevoir, Scrafty, Cofagrigus, Celebi, Vaporeon, and Heatran. Both these teams are fat, but I'm not excited for the seemingly stall that Liam's going to bring.
Yeah, definitely going to be a rough matchup for sure. I think this is the one that I helped Shawnee prep for. So I actually think I have his team for this one. Let me double check. I'm pretty sure I have his team for this one on hand, so I can provide more accurate analyses if I can find it. I know I have it somewhere in our messages. We talk so damn often. It's like it's it's buried in there. So
I'm sure it is.
I think I have it. There it is. All right. So quickly going over his team. All right. This is what we got. We got standard Timid Gardevoir, Calm Mind Gardevoir. Nothing too crazy. Hyper Voice, Psychic, not Psyshock. I probably should have noticed that and told him to put Psyshock over Psychic. But hindsight 2020. Toxic Calm Mind, simple enough. Not too crazy. Has some defense investment. Don't remember what it was for, but it's there. He's got leftovers Scrafty with some good HP investment, a little bit of speed to outpace. I think it was like min speed Piloswine. I think it was uninvested Piloswine. I think it was, or there was like something slightly above. Adamant, Bulk Up, Knock Off, Drain Punch, Iron Head. Pretty much just kind of goes in, which is real nice. Once you get Sableye, it has Shed Skin too, so it can kind of set up in front of Sableye as well, which is nice. So that's cool. Colberberry Cofagrigus. Very physically defensive, but it's got a sassy nature with a little bit of Spadef as well. Knock, Shadow Ball, Toxic, Pain Split. Obviously got the knock for the Chansey, very cool. Onion the Celebi, which is with Weakness Policy. This was my creation. 156 HP, 252 attack, 100 special attack, hasty nature, SD Seed Bomb, recover Earth Power. Basically, SD Seed Bomb kind of just smacked everything up, and Earth Power was there for the Registeel, so he had a way of breaking through it. But if he gets the Weakness Policy off, then Celebi can go in, because +4 Celebi just kind of beats things up, which is great. He changed the nickname on Vaporeon, so that's cool. Fully physically defensive.
That's good.
Fully Fizz Death Vape. Scald, Toxic, Wish, Heal Bell. Obvious, simple, easy enough. And then we have Sugarberry Heatran. Very, very physically defensive. With Magnastorm, Toxic, Protect, Stealth Rock. Very good for this matchup. Very, very solid Mon for this matchup. So, definitely going to be interesting to see if it all pays off.
Just hoping for Shawnee that it does.
Yeah, because, with the prep itself, pretty solid, not to toot my own horn, but toot toot. Sometimes it just works. Oh, that's convenient. Oh,
Crit.
that is huge. I actually predicted he wouldn't bring the Flame Orb, mainly just because of the fact that Burns, very buffed in this gen. I definitely did not think that was going to happen. So, unfortunate that I was wrong there, but hey, you got it knocked off, so we take those. Unfortunate burn. Can we get the Shed Skin soon? Unfortunate.
This doesn't seem like a great position for Shawnee to be in.
Definitely not, unfortunately. He's not getting the Shed Skin proc, which is very, very unfortunate.
Yeah, that's incredibly unfortunate.
Of course, it has the haze. No surprise there. Can the Shed Skin just proc already? This is ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm really shocked. Also, I'm not 100%... Oh, okay.
That worked out beautifully. Oh, that was amazing.
I was wondering why he did that instead of vape, but that makes a lot of sense, and that it procced that well was very good for him.
C-Bomb does a lot to the Registeel there. That is really, really nice. And the Earth Power is huge damage.
Yeah.
Oh, he went for the Curse, too. That's even better. Oh, that's so good. I'm so glad that this set's working out well. I'm so glad this set's doing something. It has an Ice Beam. Oh, it actually wasn't enough to kill.
That's unfortunate.
Oh, man. I was not expecting that to
me.
kill. Unfortunate. But
it's probably... Well, I was going to say it's probably choice, but there's no reason for it to stay in Uncall.
Yeah. The knock, though, worked out perfectly for the Chansey. Got rid of the UV Light. That worked out great. And, of course, we got this... Oh, this whole scenario is going to be great. See, this kind of situation right here is why I absolutely don't want to face Liam. That whole scenario, because that's going to be often. Oh, ooh, that is a series of unfortunate events. Playing out right before our eyes. That is a very bad series of unfortunate events.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Ooh,
tough.
And the rest.
Yeah, that's tough. I mean, his set didn't have anything to break the Registeel, unfortunately. He had nothing to break it.
Yeah, all you can really hope to do is just keep clicking Drain Punch.
Yeah.
Bulking up. Ooh, okay, the Iron Head doesn't do too much damage, so still looking good for Shawnee. Hopefully, if he gets burned this time, he'll proc a Shed Skin.
Right? If only. It's ridiculous how... That's supposed to be a 30% chance. Like if you can get a Skull Burn after that many turns, like, can we get the Shed Skin proc after that many turns? I'm just saying. Like, consistency game. That's all I'm asking for, is some consistency. I'm not asking too much. Yeah.
Well, that's what happens when you play a game of numbers.
Indeed. Indeed. Okay, gets the Jolteon in there. Nice. Gets a crit. Kind of stinks. Kind of not fortunate. Not a very fortunate situation.
Oh my god, showing that nickname Time of Month.
Oh, Lord. I think he should have Magma Stormed first there, I think. I think that would have been better for him in the long run.
He probably should have. Just to make sure that he could actually Toxic Stall it in there.
Yeah. You just get the Chansey Trap first and foremost before Toxic, and then you just kind of beat it. Because I mean, he did have the Protect and stuff to get the extra turns on. Like I think that would have been much better off. Like he would have ended up pretty low, but I think he would have been able to beat it. I think. Unfortunate. No, there's another Skull Burn and a crit. That's fun. Hyper Voice. Jesus Christ. Okay.
Good. Hyper Voice is a really good move. Wow, we're 40 turns in, still 5-5.
What a match.
Well, 4-5.
Another crit. This Jolteon. This Jolteon getting another crit Volt Switch. Look at all these crits coming out from Liam. This is ridiculous.
There's been a lot of crits this game, really on both sides.
Oof. Big knockoff.
Frustrating.
There's the Soldew. I knew he had it. I knew it. I knew it in my soul.
But it wouldn't have affected that Ice Beam.
Yeah.
Blatantly ignoring your request in the last recap.
But no, it would have affected the Ice Beam actually, because of how it worked back then.
Dragon and Psychic moves,
right?
Nope. Or is it?
That's the nerf. That's nerf version.
Well, it also it boosts to 1.2 instead of 1.5.
Yeah, the old version, which we have now, was the free Calm Mind.
You're right.
Yeah, a built-in Calm Mind. That's I'm so sad that it took that long for it to get nerfed. Glad that it did. Upset that it's still here. Like, I guess technically he doesn't have to not use it, but like, Liam, could you like not, please? Oh my god, another crit. I don't know if it mattered, but Jesus Christ. Can you guys like calm down? For fuck's sake, man. Can you guys calm down? This is ridiculous. This is a little ridiculous. Alright, getting rid of the expert belt.
Hopefully this means that they're using up all their crit luck for one another now and not later for the rest of the season.
For sure. God, 55 turns. And we still have 3-3.
Yeah.
And Shawnee still has his heel beller. Oh, no. Oh.
And he still has his thing that's going to take down Registeel and Chansey.
Oh, no. And Jolteon doesn't have much longer for this world. Jolteon is not long for this world anymore. I think you go. I think you definitely go hard. Hard Scrafty there, in my opinion.
Yeah. Well, I think you're right. I think now he's fishing for a burn.
Yeah, you've seen the rest already. At this point, you go hard Scrafty and you start clicking bulk up.
That's true. That's very true.
Yeah, I think that's definitely a misplay here. Which I can also completely understand at the end of the day. Like,
yeah,
I would be like very tilted at this point in the match.
I'm sure they both are.
'Cause it's so far in, 63 turns. That's a good part of your afternoon. That's a solid part of your afternoon gone, and that's rough. You know, definitely like. The worst part is though, like, this Vaporeon realistically being fully physically defensive can also realistically stall this Registeel out completely. Because he's rest talk Kurt, like, he only has a few Iron Heads. He's not 2-hit KOing this thing any day soon. So, like, Vape can just sit here. Honestly, at this point, I would stop clicking Scald. I would honestly just, like, not click Scald that often. Personally. I would start clicking things like Toxic. I would, like, obviously make sure I'm wished up. But I'd start clicking things that are useless at this point. Because he's not breaking you. He's not able to break you. He can't. So, there's no point clicking the damage. Yeah, there's no point clicking for damage because he's just going to rest it all off anyway. So there's no point wasting your PP for your attacking move while he's just going to, like, steadily whittle down his, you know, at the end of the day. That's my take on that. Like, that Vape, personally, I think he just stalled this thing out with the Vape. If he had the time to do it, I think he would have been able to just stall it out with Vape. Straight up.
Yeah, I agree. I wouldn't have thought to do that in the moment either, mind you.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Like, I would just want this game to be done with. Definitely.
I also think I wouldn't have sat in on Vape, and I probably would have wanted to get Scrafty in there just to do the damage.
Yeah.
Sheesh, that turn count. Oh, that's why, because Yeah, actually, no, you're right. If he's cursing up, you just keep clicking Drain Punch so that you can... that crit's unfortunate.
Yeah, if he starts cursing up, you just get a Drain Punch or two off, get a little bit of health back, and you can also start bulking up in his face because you're faster, and you're not losing the speed, so like you'll still be taking less damage. You can kind of alternate your bulk ups and your Drain Punches, and kind of keep yourself solid here. You can also knock off his leftovers, make things a little bit easier, make him have to rest more often. I definitely think that, I definitely think it was possible. I think Scrafty was the play there for sure. I think it would have put him in a much better position going forward. Especially because you could have farmed this Registeel for health all day, every day.
For sure.
Yeah. At this point, I obviously, like, with...
finally got the burn.
Yeah.
It's kind of pointless.
With both Scrafty and Koffagrigus gone, I think at this point, like, even if... It doesn't really matter at this point. Even if the Vape could stall this thing out, I don't blame him. Sorry, I don't fancy staying here doing this. I don't blame him at all. I do not blame him one bit.
Yeah.
86 turns, like, that's rough. That's a rough game. That's a long game.
I mean, James would have quit 50 turns ago.
Yeah, same. Honestly, I wouldn't have been through all of this. I would have seen +2 Registeel, but I'm good. All right, I see where this is going. I'm gone. Bye. But I think definitely for me, I think that realistically, this game ended. Trying to find the exact turn I would say this game was over. I'd say this game ended turn... Let's see. Turn 59. I'd say this game ended turn 59.
I wouldn't say 59. I would give it to maybe 60 or 61. Once Shawnee decided after seeing Registeel curse up that he was going to stay in.
That's fair, yeah. 60-61 I think is where this game really ended. 86 was just the pain we took to get there. But I think 60 or 61, that was when Scrafty needed to come in and just start drain punching and getting the damage off. I mean, I personally, I would have gone immediately. Just, we knew Curse was there from earlier. We knew... I believe we... No, I didn't know Curse was there from earlier, because he didn't get a chance to do anything. But even still, we knew. You know what Registeel does. Let's be real. You want your Scrafty in here. That your adamant Scrafty's going to want to farm up as much as it can off of this thing. You need the health. This is where you're going to get it, I think. So it's very unfortunate. Very unfortunate match for sure. Not a fun time. That's the only thing I could think of. At the same time, though, at that point in the game, I'm not thinking straight. I just want it to be done. So it's understandable as well. Can't really fault Shawnee for that at all. I didn't want to play that game. I wouldn't want to. I would have been done.
I don't know what I would have done in that.
Yeah, that's one of those scenarios that, like, it's not fun for anyone. No one wants to be a part of it. I completely understand that. And, like, realistically at this situation as well, especially after losing both Scrafty and Goffagrigus, there was no way he could win this anyway.
No, at that point, there was no point continuing. That's just a waste of time. And
even if he lived a hit from Jolt, was able to finish it off, which is possible, because without the expert belt, he might be able to miss out on the KO. There's no way he stops Chansey. Yeah. There's no way he beats Chansey. So, I don't know. That's tough, man. It's tough. But, I don't blame him for leaving that game where it was. It is what it is. Liam did what he had to do, and he got set up at the right time. And once his setup got going, it just wasn't stopped. Simple as that. And it worked out perfectly for him. So, what can you say? This team is formidable.
It's fat.
Yes. It is fat, and there are very few things that can break through it. So it's going to be interesting to see what kind of crazy sets people bring to try to do it going forward. But with that being said, it's my turn. Let's go check out my match. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we have my match against Rennie and Los Angeles Darkrise. Rennie brought his Politoed, Galvantula, the Scizor, the Mega Scizor, the Talonflame, the Weavile, and the Goodra. I decided to bring the Porygon Z, the Blastoise, Hoop Unbound, the Thundurus Incarnate, Skuntank, and the Mawile. So, quick overview of my team so that I can kind of like give you a rundown. So, Life Orb, PZ, Tri-Attack, HP Fire, Recover Toxic. Toxic was just there to catch Goodra on the switch in. I was expecting a very bulky, like, AV Goodra to deal with a lot of my team. So, I figured that would be useful. And Tri-Attack plus HP Fire just smacks everything, so pretty standard, straightforward. Blastoise was here solely because of the potential for webs. Plus, I needed some, like, defensive options for Talonflame and Scizor. So, it worked out pretty nicely. Just mixed defensive. Rapid Spin, Scald, and Breast Talk just to keep itself healthy. I also brought Rain Dish because I knew Politoed was probably going to show up with Drizzle, so I figured I would take that extra recovery, leftovers plus Rain Dish with that thing going around. I could very easily like stall it out a little bit. which would be nice. I had Focus Sash Hoopa Unbound. There are a couple reasons for Focus Sash. I didn't expect him to have rocks, so I kind of figured it was safe to have the Sash. Plus, there was a lot of situations where it became useful, specifically against Weavile. I was hoping for a situation where Weavile comes in, tries to KO me, tries to wipe me out, and I can just click Drain Punch, and he knocks me into my Sash. I click Drain Punch, I OHKO the Weavile. Every single time I get a crap ton of my health back, and put me in a pretty strong position. I had enough speed for like max speed Mega Scizor. Worst case scenario. Hyperspace Fury, Psychic, Drain Punch, and HP Fire. I had Psychic specifically because of Hitmontop. I've brought, this is like a similar set in the past, to where like Hitmontop was their biggest defensive threat, and the only thing that could come in on Hoopa and deal with it. And so I just ran Psychic, and it OHKOs Hitmontop, a defensive Hitmontop, easily. So that was the plan with that, and just having HP Fire for Scizor. You know, simple enough, straightforward. Very weird. Thundurus set was meant to kind of be my switch into Talonflame, or at least something that could beat Talonflame in a potential 1v1 scenario. It was also Yachi Berry to potentially allow it to deal with Weavile. It was Bulk Up, Thunder Punch, Superpower, and Rest. Very weird set, but in prep and whatnot, it looked like it was effective. Get up like 1 or 2 bulk ups if I can force something out. Get up a bulk up or 2. Thunder Punch will OHKO the Talonflame. I eat a hit from Weavile with the Yachi, and I KO it with Superpower. Pretty straightforward stuff. Nothing too crazy. Rocky Helmet, Aftermath, Skuntank. There's a Talonflame. That's going to be recoiling itself all day, every day. So, worst case scenario, I sack this thing off to Talonflame, and Talonflame takes, like, 60% from 1 Brave Bird, realistically. So that would have been nice. Mainly special, Sludge Bomb, Dark Pulse, Flamethrower, Defog. I wanted another option for the webs, just in case. So that's why I was here. And then last but not least, we had Mawile. Mawile was my don't want Weavile to do anything mon. It was literally here because Weavile kind of just clicks knockoff and doesn't have to think against my team. So I brought in itemless Mawile with Intimidate that completely hard-walls Weavile, period. Weavile does nothing to it. I think the max it could do is like 22, 23%, and that's banded. So Mawile just invalidated Weavile completely. That was the goal. So yeah, that was the plan. That was what we had going on my side. Not going to tell you if it worked out or not. You'll just have to watch the game and find out. But yeah, what do you think? What do you think of the brain?
I mean, on the one hand, there's a lot of thought and there's a lot of good ideas that you have going into this. On the other hand, it's Rennie. Yeah.
Exactly. So, thought and ideas can only work so much. But, they only work until someone walks up and punches you in the face, and then you're like, oh, crap. What do I do now? Yeah, let's see how this one plays out. We see Galv, and we see Skuntank. We see Thunder, and that's a lot of damage. And you see the Life Orb, and I'm like, oh, crap.
Surprised he led off with Thunder instead of clicking Sticky Web.
Right?
But you don't really have that much speed on here outside of Thunderous anyway. So I guess there was really no point.
Yeah, definitely, hindsight, looking at it, definitely makes sense. And the amount of damage that did was just absurd. I think I went for the Sludge Bomb because I figured Goodra might want to come in. And I figured if I could get the poison off on that, that'd be great. But definitely, like, Flamethrower would have been a little bit better, especially just because the extra damage plus the Life Orb chip is always nice to have. But, yeah, no Scald Burn here. Just unfortunate. My water was not hot enough. But Rain Dish was coming in clutch.
Yeah, at least you were able to abuse it.
Yeah, definitely. The Recover keeping me out of range of Goodra's Draco. Definitely something I noticed immediately. You might not think, someone might not think it was important, but Skull doing 8% to Gudra was pretty massive.
That's telling. In the rain, right?
I
Or was it
believe
not in the rain?
I was in the rain. So it looked like it wasn't as bulky of a Gudra as it could be. Not as bulky of an Assault Vest Gudra. I was like, that looks a little off to me. It looked a little off to me. So it didn't feel like as bulky of a Gudra. It didn't feel like it was max HP. Then I realized I wasn't paying attention to the rain. So my calcs were wrong. So that was me being stupid. It's like, oh, how much does Skull do this thing earlier? Oh, that's way too much. Completely invalidating and forgetting the rain existed. Me feeling really stupid for doing so. Hindsight 2020.
Yeah.
It is what it is. Heat of the moment. I'm playing against Rennie. I'm stressing the entire time, so it is what it is. But I got rid of the Politoed, which is nice. I'm going to bulk up in this thing's face. Unfortunately, he pops my Yachi.
Oh. Yeah, well, at least you're able to live, get rid of Gudra.
Yep.
That's one obstacle out of the way.
For sure. But now I can just go into Weavile and mess me up. Not really. Psych.
Yep. Doing exactly what Mawile was here for.
Yeah. The unfortunate part about this is I almost had Fire Fang. Almost.
Oh, that would have been great.
But, again, hindsight. I was like, Stealth Rock, knockoff, Iron Head, Pain Split. I just needed Pain Split to keep myself healthy. So...
I keep forgetting that Mawile gets Pain Split.
I do all the time. Yeah, I just left Torbjorn in there because I didn't really have anything else I wanted to take the hit, and Mawile died to it. Thunderous died to it. Unfortunately, I had to waste my Sash on this Galvantula, which is very unfortunate. Kind of was forced... My hand was forced there, pretty much. I knew he couldn't do much to me. I had to get the rest there, just to kind of hope that I could get some health back. But then I remembered the calcs I had in my head for how much damage Banded Talonflame did to me were with a bulk up. So, yeah. I realized as soon as the Talonflame came out, I was like, I think I live? I didn't calc it immediately. And I was like, realistically, either I live and he just kills me next turn because I'm rested, or I don't live and he wins either way. So, yeah. It was... I had some plans. They just didn't work out. I wasn't expecting a super offensive Galvantula, so that definitely didn't help. Definitely didn't really... I didn't have a defensive option to deal with Galvantula, because I didn't think I was going to need one, but unfortunately, that is not the case. Gudra felt a little bit more offensive. I don't know exactly what set he had, but it felt more offensive, felt more dangerous than anything I would have been prepped for. So, it is what it is. And, like, he just brought standard stuff, but it worked.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's a reason stuff is standard. They work.
Yeah, and it just worked really well here. And I just didn't have the tools I needed. Definitely could have probably done a few different things to maybe get something going, but it is what it is. I did the best I could. I tried to catch him off guard, and he was not phased. Was not phased in the slightest. But that's Rennie for you. What can you do? Any game against Rennie, you kind of go into it with like the mindset of, I'm facing Rennie. He's one of the best people we got. Simple as that. So, I'm not too mad about it. Games with Rennie are always good. I always have fun playing them, so I'm not upset at it. It is what it is. I'll get him next time. Just not in Gen 6. Not with Talonflame. No. Prepping for this team was hell.
Maybe if you make it to playoffs.
Yeah. Prepping for this team was hell. Prepping for this team was not fun. It was a bad matchup. We even talked about it afterwards. He's like, yeah, I just feel like I have the team matchup against you. I was like, yeah.
He does.
I realized that in prep. There was not much I could do. It was a case of, trying to delay the inevitable more or less and hope that I got lucky. Hope that my weird scenarios in my head worked out exactly the way I wanted them to. Definitely unfortunate, that it didn't work out, but it is what it is, and I'm okay with it. So we will move onward and go into the divisional matches and win out. Hopefully.
Hopefully.
That's the goal. We'll win out our divisional matches.
Might be a bit rough, given you have Steven,
and Shawnee,
whose game we will watch next.
Yeah, indeed. All right, we have Chris and the Naughty Me Legos versus Steven and the Sligo Sandacondas. Alex, take it away.
Alrighty. On the Sandaconda side, Sligo is two Sandaconda teams. We have Kieran Black, Mew, who I almost missed because Drapion's tail is covering it.
Why's Drapion so
Drapion.
big?
Rhydon. Why is Mew so
He's small boy.
Suicune and Gliscor? That is a fat team. Jesus.
Speaking of fat, move to the other side.
We got Cradilly as the leader of the Nihiligos this week, alongside Megazam and Mega. Holy crap! I forgot its name again. Mandibuzz. The second week in a row that I forgot its name.
One of these days.
Porygon 2 and Garchomp. I don't know why I keep forgetting Mandibuzz's name. It's just.
It's such a prominent Pokemon too. Some things like Cradilly is fair. Like if you forgot Cradilly's name, that's different. But that's Mandibuzz, man. That's rough.
I start just for whatever reason, the first thing that comes to mind when I see it is I want to say Brave Bird. Brave Bird everything. It's not Hawlucha, it's not Talonflame.
It's not even Braviary.
Yeah, I don't need I sometimes get Volibee, but I can never in the last few times I've forgotten the name. Sometimes Volibee comes to mind, but I can never remember. It was really embarrassing having to stall it out the other week, and then have to ask one of you guys off camera, between sessions, what was that Pokemon's name?
Oh, it's hilarious. That's utterly hilarious. But man, this is gonna be one of those games, man. Looking at this on paper, this doesn't look like a fun game to play. I see Mandibuzz, P2, and Cradilly. I see Gliscor, Suicune, Rhydon to an extent, Mew always. This just doesn't look like a fun game to play in any way, shape, or form. I don't like it. I hate having to deal with Suicune for Chris. Literally, this thing has to carry the whole team on its back to deal with that. I hate having to deal with this Mon for anyone ever because this Mon's stupid. Gliscor is stupid. Controversial opinion, the Dex Cut was real great. I loved the Dex Cut. I don't care. The Dex Cut was brilliant. Because I didn't have to deal with Gliscor for 85% of an entire generation. I had to deal with Gliscor. It's great times.
Gliscor's good. He was on my championship winning team.
Hate dealing with this Mon. It getting cut from Sword and Shield, best thing that ever happened. I don't care. You can hate me forever. I thought Dexit was brilliant.
I mean, Dexit is brilliant in terms of just forcing us to use different things. I think Maractus being in the game and Gliscor's not is kind of stupid.
I love Maractus. What do you mean? Maractus supremacy. Maractus the GOAT. I basically 6-0'd someone with Maractus once.
Well, that person's just not good at Pokemon then.
Hey! It's insulting my team building. It was just a good match.
Insulting Maractus.
That's just rude. It set up spikes.
Are Finneon and Luminion in Sword and Shield?
No.
Okay.
I don't think so. No. No, I don't think so. I'm 90% sure.
Is Tropius? Tropius isn't.
I thought it was. I don't remember.
I don't remember either, but Tropius is one of the worst Pokemon ever made.
That is a fact. Even though its design is one of my favorites.
It's great design, but it's an awful Pokemon.
They ruined a great Mon with a poor everything.
Yeah.
But,
actually, wait, is Cast Form in the game? Because,
no.
Okay.
Wait. No. Pretty sure.
It goes to show how often I booted up Sword and Shield after I did everything I wanted to do in the game.
Completely understandable. I've played the game
I
more
don't
times than I
actually-
should count.
I actually don't think I've touched my copy in like almost 2 years.
That's fair.
I didn't buy the DLC.
Oh, wow. Insanity.
Yeah, I'm surprised too. I didn't buy the expansions.
Part of me wishes I hadn't. But at the same time, it was fun. I had a fun time. Sword and Shield was
I
fine.
mean, it seemed like fun playing the story. I don't know.
Sword and Shield was a fun enough time. I enjoyed myself. I didn't dislike it.
It was a good one and done.
Now, Gen
Don't
2,
revisit
however. Before I start a war in the comment section, before I start a war in the Pokemon community, let's watch Steven versus Chris. Because if I start talking about Gen 2, a lot of people are going to change their opinion on me really fast.
Toxic Spikes to lead, and I'm going to assume, considering that it's Chris we're talking about, that Mandibuzz does not have defog.
That's literally all it's good for.
It is, but he doesn't remove hazard. He doesn't really bring much. He brings. Yeah, I'm calling you out, Chris. Start bringing more removal, and if you do bring it, use it.
Please. These Toxic Spikes should have been gone already. That Credillia shouldn't be...
Maybe not with the Kieran, but that Credillia should not be poisoned.
I don't know why that Credillia just came in there. It just brazenly came in with a Kieran Black in its face and just said, yeah, Ice Beam me, I dare you.
Yeah, especially with Suicune there, like, that's your only way to stop Suicune.
Yeah. Yeah, literally, how do you beat Suicune if you lose this Credillia right now? How do you beat it?
Subcom Mind, Alakazam ain't doing isn't gonna do shit.
Nah. Well, I mean, at least Steven was nice. He was nice enough. Wait, where did it go? Did I miss something?
Where did what go?
Did I miss something?
What were you looking for?
I missed the turn where he defogged. I just completely missed.
Defog. I did too.
I completely
turn 7.
scrolled past it. I missed it. I was like, at least Steven was nice enough to get rid of the Toxic Spikes.
Good on you for defogging, Chris, but you need to do that more.
Oh no, that wasn't Chris. Steven took it away.
Oh.
That's even worse.
Chris, you need to use defog.
Why do you not have defog? You have a Mandibuzz.
Defog the Pokemon. You literally have defog.
That's all it's good for. It's literally all this mon's good for is being fat and removing hazards. Why do you not defog?
And clicking foul play.
You should always have defog on Mandibuzz.
Yeah,
That's default.
I don't think U-turn is. I don't think Mandibuzz is the Pokemon to be U-turning with.
Yeah. It's fine if you have the extra moves, but you don't need it.
Yeah.
It's a shame.
You're better off having, like, Roost knock off foul play and default. Like, every time. Maybe a Brave Bird, if you're feeling spicy, or you see a use for it.
Like a little bit of spice. It just subs up for in Suicune's space, like it owned the place.
Yeah, I probably would have clicked Calm Mind.
Yeah. Well, getting the sub up was nice. Got that absolute beast of a Monmew out of there. That's always good. Credillia removed.
I probably would have clicked Calm Mind once it was behind the sub then.
Yeah. Credillia never
you may not have been
that.
running Calm Mind also. Oh, you love to see the download, getting the special attack boost.
For sure. Avalanche from the Rhydon. That was very interesting. Probably predicting the Garchomp to come in.
Yeah, Garchomp or Mandibuzz. Probably Garchomp though.
Love that. That's actually really cool prep. I would never would have thought of that. That's fun. Lightning Rod. That's going to be useless. He does have the Energy Ball. Very cool. Tell that Suicune.
It's not useless. It's not useless. Stops a Q from Bolt Striking.
Very true. Very true. Good call.
Or Fusion Bolting. Whichever move.
Listen, if you're not, you don't have any move slots left. Unfortunate.
It's not Calm Minding.
Unfortunate that he does not have the HP Ice here. There's nothing to break the glass for.
Yeah.
Very unfortunate.
Yeah, if you're not packing HP Ice for any 4X weaknesses, like
for like Gliscor, there's a problem.
Yeah. And he had Ice Beam on the P2, but he lost it too soon. Crit through the Yachi.
And it
That's...
still lived.
Yeah. Suicune's weak, man. I always forget how freaking weak Suicune is.
No,
Such
that's
a weak
why
mon.
just the Calm Mind Rest set is the only set that gets any use.
Yeah. Well, realistically, I don't think that crit mattered. Looking at the damage that it did, like
It didn't.
him swords dancing
It
there.
would have been a 2-hit KO anyway.
Yeah. And Suicune's gonna pick up the win. As simple as that. Yeah, him not being able to get rid of those toxic spikes before Credilli came in was massive. Super massive. If you'd been able to get rid of them, like, listen, I know Mandibuzz doesn't really want to take on Kyurem. I get it. But, like, you have other things that don't want to be poison. You can easily, like, come in on Mandibuzz, you click Defog, toxic spikes are gone. Great. Then you go into P2 and chew the hit anyway and not care. And then you can recover up on it. Like, it's not like a big deal. You can make that work. You had there's options. But Credilli getting poisoned there, like...
That was unfortunate.
Yeah, that was pretty much... made it so that Suicune kind of just auto-won. Like, there was nothing else you could do to Suicune. You had one Mon that was basically here to stop Suicune, and it didn't survive long enough to try.
Yeah.
And, like, I think if you'd been able to get rid of the toxic spikes sooner, I think you would have been in a much stronger position to deal with the rest of his team. I think preserving P2 was also super crucial. I think that thing getting toxic was very, very unfortunate. It's just a series of unfortunate events for Chris in this one, for sure. Tough matchup. And he lost all the toxic spikes at the beginning, and then toxic on P2. He got all of his walls essentially just got worn down, and there was nothing he could do about it. Shame, it's unfortunate, but it happens to the best of us. Hopefully Chris will bounce back. Steven continuing to show his dominance that I now have to deal with next week.
Have fun.
Great. Love that. So, yeah, good times. But I think with that one, I think we need to move into the main event of the evening. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we are here for your main event of NPBF Season 15, Week number 9. In the right corner, coming in with the Bridgeport Sandacondas, weighing in a disgusting 7,000 defense stat and 7,000 special defense stat, looking at his team, we have Deshawn. And in the left corner, a former champion in his own right, pulling all the pink ribbons in this week, we have Alex and the Greenwich Giratinas. I had to do a fun intro for it. It was way too hype, way too hype of a match to not pull out the classic, really poorly done. It was like a Bruce Buffer intro section because, let's be real, this is the main event, ladies and gentlemen. It does not get better than this. These men are tied across the board. There has never been a tighter tie in the history of NPBF that I personally can know of at the top of the leaderboard. Never has it ever been this tight. We see a Muck, an Arcanine, a Raikou, a Blissey, a Skarmory, and a Mega Metacham on one side. On the other, we see a Steelix, an Infernape, a Crobat, a Mega Gallade, an Electivire, and a Sylveon. What's going to happen here?
Well, before we start, do you have any questions off the board? I'll only provide insight to things you ask.
Now, I'm assuming it's a mixed ape. Mixed ape eats Skarmbliss for dinner. I assume a mixed ape is the most likely scenario here. Right?
Yeah, most likely.
Yeah.
Like you said, it eats Skarmbliss for dinner.
Yeah. Electivire being here is very interesting.
Well, okay, I'll give you the rationale behind Electivire. So we have Motor Drive, shuts down Raikou.
Yep.
Yeah. Skarmory dies to Electric type.
Yeah.
Right? Electivire is a good mix, potentially,
Mm-hmm.
depending on the moveset. But it does get fighting moves. So, I can smack Skarmory with a Thunder Punch and Blissey with a Brick Break, theoretically.
Yeah.
So, also, I'm going to talk about it since it's not here. Cloyster.
Got my shivers. My shivers came back.
There's a lot of prep here for Cloyster because I explicitly did not want to have happen to me what happened to you.
That is completely fair. I don't blame you for that.
We have some really silly sets that I don't mind discussing because Deshaun, I showed them to him. That Crobat is Scarf to outspeed a Shell Smash Cloyster.
I love that. I adore that.
It has Giga Drain for that reason, too. That's
brilliant. I love that very much. This is looking like it's going to be a fun match. Oh my god, I've been aching for this one. I can't wait anymore. Well, if anything else comes up, we'll discuss it as it comes.
Yeah.
I gotta get into this. I gotta watch it. I'm putting this on slow. I need to soak this up as much as I can. Alright, Electivire on Raikou. Obviously, Shadow Ball for the prediction. Simple enough. Pretty straightforward start to the game, alright.
One thing to notice, though. Look at Raikou's color, and remember what gen we're in.
Ah, ha ha ha. Good call. That's a Rash Raikou. You definitely know it has the Aura Sphere. Definitely know it's Aura Sphere, definitely know it's Rash. So you know that thing. I actually
didn't know it was Rash until later. I just knew it was Aura Sphere.
Gotcha. Yeah, I remember back then the shinies were either, it was Adamant Entei, Rash Raikou, and Relaxed Suicune. Oh, look at you with the roar. I like it. Appreciate it. You didn't want to reveal the Aura Sphere just yet. I like that. I can appreciate not revealing it this early. That's fair.
The taunt sucks.
That definitely blows. I forgot that Skarmory even got taunt.
I did too.
That was a really good bring.
He's barely used it.
Yeah, that was a really good bring. I assume predicting the Raikou there?
Raikou, Blissey, or Arcanine.
Yeah, fair enough. Of course, now the Arcanine comes in.
Yeah, just click Thunderbolt. Because I figured he was in my head, so he was gonna do shit with Skarmory, just roost spam me.
Mm-hmm.
Or get another layer of spikes out.
Fair. Completely fair. Good defog.
So yes, that is. I am scarfed into defog at the moment.
That's fair. That's completely fair. I can see that. Ugh. Oh, that was a good play. That was a good play.
It was a very good play.
He knew that.
I'm not 100% sure why I went to Gallade, but I did. I guess I just figured he wasn't gonna Toxic.
Yeah, that's fair. Now I see the Rocky Helmet on this. We see the Rocky Helmet on Skarm. Of course. Because why wouldn't he?
Yeah. Well, he could be leftovers to preserve Sturdy, but when with Gallade running around, there's literally no reason to.
Yeah. Saw the heat wave coming. Fair enough.
Yeah, I should have expected it, but I thought, oh, he'll just get his spikes back up again.
Yeah. That's completely fair. Throws his rocks up, alright. Heal Bell on the Sylveon. That's crucial. Like I figured that was going to be there. I figured that made sense. You kind of had to bring that. That kind of goes without saying.
With this team, I've been telling Deshaun, and really anybody who'll listen to me, if you're facing Deshaun, have heal belt.
Yeah.
You need removal, and you need a cleric.
Yeah, that's
or you
without
have
saying.
no hope of winning.
Yeah, that's for sure, without a doubt. It's simple as that. Like, if you look at this team and you don't bring those two things, what are you doing?
Power Punch Muck is a pain in the ass.
That's terrifying. That is such a threatening set. The damage from that Earthquake, that's absurd to me. That's so much. I forget how squishy Medicham is, man. That's crazy.
It's incredibly squishy. It's, like, ridiculous how squishy it is.
But then, of course, you see how hard it hits, and it's like, oh, that's fair.
Yeah.
That's
the pure power.
Yeah, Drain Punch doing over half to Steelix. That's crazy. That's absurd.
Yeah. That was a Spit F Steelix, though. No, actually, it was mixed defense.
Well, yeah, that's fair. Even still, even with uninvested, like, that's still base 200 defense that you're breaking through that easily. That's tough.
Yeah. But Medicham's attack set is so high.
Yeah, it's absurd. It's utterly absurd. Steelix going down. We're turn 20, 27, something finally drops. That's... Ooh! Ooh!
That really
that's
really
tough,
sucked.
man. That's real tough. Ooh, you hate to see it.
Yeah.
Ooh.
At the same time, I wasn't complaining because, I mean, looking at my team, I really didn't have anything to break through Arcanine.
Yeah, definitely. That was going to be something that, especially with rocks off the field now, it just kept...
Yeah.
It could just keep coming in, toxicking things. And that crit was super huge. That completely swung the momentum back in your favor.
Yeah.
I just like to think Electivire was, like, pissed that Steelix got taken out. I was like,
yeah.
How dare you?
Also, it's like, I need to prove I'm worth keeping around, because I'll be honest, I really wanted to drop Electivire this season. I've used it successfully in the past, but in this season, it's just not performed well.
Yeah.
And I'm really... If Heliolisk was a tier 4 instead of a tier 3, I would have dropped Electivire for Heliolisk.
That's completely fair. I don't blame you.
I have the points for it, because I only have the one tier 4 on my team in Dusknoir.
Yeah.
I like Heliolisk better than Electivire just because of its speed tier and its special attack stats. But Electivire has its use. Its use hasn't really shown itself in my matchups at all this season, unfortunately.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, it's one of those mons that, like, it just consistently underperforms in a lot of situations, and it's definitely like it's definitely sketchy for sure.
I should have just clicked Brave Bird, but I figured Skarmory was coming in.
I don't blame you there. You were low enough that, like, you couldn't really afford Brave Bird. The recoil would have just killed you, or the Rocky Helmet just kills you. You kind of had to make that play. I don't blame you for that one at all. Like, yeah, Crobat goes down if it goes wrong, which it did, but, like, if it went right and it went the way that I personally thought that's how that play would have gone down, I think that was smart.
Now we bring the third thing you need to bring if you're fighting Deshaun.
Taunt, yes.
You
Good
need to
bring.
Taunt.
Good bring.
I figured.
Yeah.
I thought Skarmory was coming out.
That's the scary thing with his team. That's the scary thing is like, he doesn't even have to do anything specific to be in your head. He just has to exist. His team just exists and it's in your head.
Yeah. It's not a fun time.
No. What a series of turns.
We do it again. We miss.
Yeah. That's rough. Oh, but you got it. The hit off this time.
Though.
That's crazy. How did that live? What? What are you, Blissey? Jesus. Right, he lets it go down though, so that's not too bad. But like, that's a free fake out for Medicham right there.
Yeah.
Or Raikou. Or Raikou just comes in and does whatever it wants.
Well, luckily we have Sylveon to eat a special hit. Also, we're at turn 39 and it's still 4-4.
Yeah. As the main event should be. This is This is stellar. This is a stellar game so far. So I'm definitely quite pleased with.
Fucking
Amon that literally has done like nothing for Deshaun the entire season. Literally, he's just kind of like sat in the background. But like this is the perfect. Oh no! Oh no! No!
Acid armor power up punch.
No! 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 Just hearing the TikTok sound in my head. Oh no! Oh no! 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 No!
His acid armor power up punch.
That
and it did that much damage unboosted.
Yo, Muck is so strong, dude.
And Electivire is so frail.
Muck is cuckoo crazy banana. He's stockpiled. Oh my god. What the hell?
What about that?
Oh, he was just in range. He was just in range. Oh my god.
I was wondering why I lived.
Man, that was crazy. That set's crazy. If he had like a reliable way of healing himself, man, that's nuts. That's super crazy.
Yeah.
Muck is terrifying.
It's really good. That Hyper Voice did a lot more than I thought it was going to do.
Oh my god, yeah. Jesus.
Because Raiko's really fat.
Yeah. That rash nature coming in clutch for you.
Yeah. Which I didn't. Again, I still didn't realize it was rash.
Yeah. Had to get that double also, protect. That was super huge.
I needed it.
Yeah. And he volt switched. Oh! Oh, that's a choke. Oh, he choked. You had to hope for the choke, but he choked it. He choked that one. Oh, that's tough. Oh, and you got away with it, too! Oh! Oh!
He told me that he let me get away with that because he had a plan and he needed Skarmory.
Man.
So he knew I was trying to wish past there.
Yeah. That's tough, man. That's tough. Sylveon goes down.
Sylveon. Sack it off so I can get a clean switch into Gallade.
Yeah.
Hate this Skarmory so much.
God, Skarmory's fucking awful. Facing Skarmory is awful.
Yeah.
What's that last move gonna be? Oh, it's Brave Bird. Oh! Oh no! 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 Not like this! No! That's so terrible! Oh, he set up the spike! Oh no! Oh no! What a series of events! Hold on, I need to take a second. I need a minute. Oh my god. That was a roller coaster of emotions, dude. That was way too much. Koba Berry, brilliant bring. Obviously brilliant bring. Kudos to you on that. That was a really good bring. I was like, what's that last move? That move's gotta be Brave Bird, right? Like, that's... my head, I'm like, you're fucked. Yeah, you're just fucked. He's gonna click Brave Bird, you're gonna get fucking destroyed, and that's it. Simple as that. Missing the overheat, I thought you were doomed. I thought you were absolutely doomed. Especially because he got back to full. Like, that was the big thing. He got back up to full. And that's just too much, man.
Here's the thing, though. When running the calcs, him clicking spikes instead of going for Brave Bird
was huge, because here's the thing. Okay? What's Gallade before all of that, when I brought it into Rico, I didn't know what item he was until that Volt Switch. And I actually forgot that he wasn't... I forgot that he revealed that he wasn't choiced, that he wasn't scarfed. So I was calcing for, like, Magnet or, like, other items. But initially, I knew that Gallade could live a Shadow Ball or Thunderbolt from the range it was at when it first came in, and then like took the Rocky Helmet damage from Skarmory for that with that Drain Punch.
Yeah.
Deshaun getting the spikes damage ensures that at this point, Gallade surviving anything Raikou does to it is no longer a...
Yikes.
And likely, Raikou is about to take out Gallade. So that was actually a brilliant move on Deshaun's part.
Yeah.
Ensuring that Raikou could that Gallade would be in range for Raikou to kill it.
Yeah, that's really, really brilliant. Because initially I was thinking, like, oh, yeah, no, he just clicks Brave Bird here. Like, if he lands the overheat, like, they both go down, but, like, Raikou over Gallade, like, depending on what he has, he might just be able to take him out from there. But that's really, really smart on his part. Definitely, that's crazy. Like, it just goes to show, man. Like, one turn, you just never know.
Yeah, it was incredibly smart, and I think that's why he needed Skarmory roosted up when Sylveon passed away.
Yeah.
But now I'm not guaranteed. I don't think I can live anything he does, but
because of the rash nature, you outspeed.
Yes. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
You know what I did know? Deshaun doesn't like... If Deshaun sees wiggle room to run Modest over Timid, he will.
Yeah.
I was really wishing I had Shadow Sneak, though.
Oh, man. What a match. That was so good. That was so good. The mock was you had to go for that. That was simple as you had to go for Mock Punch there. There was nothing else you could do. Man. What a crazy, crazy match. Just well done. Well done.
Thank you.
Y'all lived up to the hype. It doesn't get better than that. Came down to a nature that was forced on him that comes out as the deciding factor. What a perfect game back and forth. What a crazy... I can't even go back and be like, no, this could have... That was perfect. Excellently played on both sides. I just... Holy crap. What a absolute slobber knocker. By God.
Yeah. I probably could have clicked Close Combat if I had remembered the rash nature bit of Raikou.
Yeah. You could have probably won that.
2-0.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that.
I didn't remember the nature.
That
if you bring Shiny, it's got Aura Sphere.
Yeah. Which is completely understandable. Like, in the heat of the battle, like, that's not going to pop into your head immediately.
Yeah.
Like unless you're really thinking about that, like, ahead of time in prep. Like, I remember when I was prepping for, I believe it was for, did I play Jason? I did play Jason, didn't I? I can't remember off the top of my head. I did play Jason.
You helped Jamie with the Jason play.
Yes. Yes. I remembered thinking about the Adamant Entei going into that prep. The entire time we were prepping for that match. I did play him. I played him week 5. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I remember, like, heavily focusing on, like, okay, if I see Shiny, I know Adamant. I prepped for Adamant Entei. Like, and I had speed calc specifically just for Adamant Entei, because I knew that was most likely what he was going to bring. Like, other than that, like, unless you're thinking of it ahead of time, you're not going to think of it in the middle of the game. You're just going to think, oh, he likes the Shiny. Simple enough. Like, that's, wow. I am dumbfounded. I knew it was going to be good. I knew it was going to be everything that we all hyped it up to be, and it was indeed everything that we could have asked for. 1-0 win. fuck, fantastic. It's just purely fantastic. I can't say anything else. It's just well done. Both guys. This is why we hyped this up. This is what we're looking. This is the top of the cream of the crop. The cream always rises to the top. Macho Man references. We got them. We always got them. Oh man, I just. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Alex, and thank you, Deshaun, for providing us with this game. Thank you, Arceus, for providing us these two amazing players into our draft league. They have done great things for us and have provided us with possibly one of the most beautifully played draft games I've seen in a very long time. Amen.
It was a good one. Goddamn, do I not want to face this team in the playoffs?
Yeah.
mean,
This is a team you never want to play again. You play it once, whatever the outcome, you're like, I'm good.
Yeah, like, there was a lot of prep for things that didn't come, obviously. Cloyster, we've done. There was a lot of prep for Zygarde. Like, Gallade obviously had to have Ice Punch. I wanted more things to have more coverage. I think at one point I had HP Ice on Fire. If not, I brought HP Ice into this game. Oh, I didn't show. I had Hammer Arm for Blissey on Fire.
Oh, nice. Very nice.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan of the Brick Break damage, and I wasn't a fan of the Cross Chop accuracy.
That's completely understandable.
I'd rather drop the speed tier, especially if the only thing I'm really trying to outspeed with Fire is Raikou anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, that's smart. I like that. Yeah, great game. And what an important game it was for the season. And
yeah.
I think we got to show you guys.
The most important game that had the least.
Most important game with the least stakes. Let's take a look and see how things are shaped up after this absolute barn burner that could possibly be considered one of the greatest games in NPBF history. Just, it must be appreciated. It's a Hall of Fame level game. That's just, I need to stop gushing. Let's move on. Let's move to the dock and let's see how the league's looking as of the end of Week 9. Alright, we are here in the league document. We have our kill leaders as of the end of Week 9. Alex, take it away and give us our top 5.
Coming in at number 1, we have Magic Carps and their Mega Gyarados. No surprise, that thing's a monster, and even though it didn't do shit this week, it I mean, look at it. It's 19-7 with a plus 12 differential. It takes lives, as we've discussed in previous recaps, and it's James by choice, mind you. It is James's only win condition. Because that's the only way he wants to win.
And you know what? That's fine. It works. Can't deny if it works.
I mean, you can when you look at this week's game, though, and you see that once it went down, he didn't have a way to win.
Yeah. But, hey, you know what? Live by the Gyarados, die by the Gyarados.
That is quite the hill to die on. At number 2, we have Jason's Ninetales, represented by Megalope. 16 kills, 5 deaths, plus 11 differential. This thing's a monster. I'm not going to go... There won't be a single week this season that doesn't pass where I don't say I'm bitter that this got taken from me in round 1. I didn't think it was going to get first overall pick. I thought it was going to fall to second overall pick, but it didn't. Here we are. I really wanted this thing.
Completely understandable. I mean...
It's really good.
Yeah, I mean... Yeah, again, we mentioned it before, like, his record's not the best, but it doesn't matter.
Come on, it is.
He has not even arguably one of the top 5 best Mons in Generation 6, period. So, I mean, at the end of the day, it was always going to be up here. It was just a matter of time. And look at how well it's performing.
Yeah. Speaking of one of the best Mons in Generation 6, number 3, we have the Darkrai's, Rennie, and Talonflame. 15 kills, 3 deaths, plus 12 differential.
You're welcome. I saw it slipping
everything.
down, so I decided I'd give you a couple. You're welcome. Raybird everything, man. It is what it is. It works.
It works a little too well. I mean, that's why it got nerfed after this gen, but it happened. Coming in at number 4, Jesse's J-Dog Jolteons, bringing up Volcanion, 5 kills, 3 deaths, plus 12 differential. Volcanion's been doing the work considering it was a mid-season acquisition.
Yeah.
Just like James's Gyarados, Volcanion is Jesse's basically only win condition by design.
And it's a powerhouse, man. I will always preach how good Volcanion is. We'll never shy away from that because I personally think this is just it's one of the best wall breaking mons in the game. It's got perfect coverage with its typing. You're gonna hit something hard every time you click a move with this thing. It's just good. It's a good mon. I love Volcanion personally. I was one of the first people to ever use it in Draft League, and I've been a fan of it ever since.
Both.
I was in a showdown league. We did custom games, so I was like, it was when Volcanion was still unreleased, and they were like, "Hey, we have all the information on Showdown, so we're gonna include it on the tier list." I was like, "I'm picking it round 1. Thank you."
And then at number 5, we have my Giratinas, represented by Sylveon, 14 kills, 3 deaths, plus 11 differential. Didn't get to do much this week, but gets the week off because of Jamie coming up, but still got 2 more weeks. Maybe I'm just 6-0 Jesse and James with Sylveon and bring it to number 1. I'm going to try to do that, I think.
Sounds like a really good idea.
See if I can get it to, what would that be? 26 kills, 3 deaths.
Just flexing everyone.
I think I'm just going to try to do that.
Screw it, why not?
I mean, I might as well. I have no reason. I'm locked in as the division leader. All that matters now is getting my bracket right.
Yeah.
If I have a game that I deem losable, I'm just gonna fuck around and find out, I guess.
Yep. It's that time of the season. Why not? Time to have a little bit of fun.
And I think I could stand to use a bit more fun with 6th Gen Pixelate.
Yeah, absolutely. And following up your Sylveon, we have Mega Alakazam from the Nottingham Neo Legos. 14 kills, 6 deaths. Mega Alakazam, it's just kind of... It's a mon that, like, it does what it does, and it does it well. It's just that simple. It is designed to come in and rip a hole through whatever's in front of it. You don't give something that kind of special attack stat and not expect it to just punch holes and murder things. That's what it's good for. There's not a lot of things that, as long as it's hitting you neutrally, there's not a lot of things I can think of off the top of my head that aren't going to get 2-KO'd by this thing. So, seeing it up here, still, not surprising.
Especially when you give it a move like Psyshock, so it can hit things both physically and specially.
Yeah. Yeah, it's basically got the perfect design to just be able to break through whatever it wants to. So, no surprise to see it up here at number 6. Definitely don't foresee this thing falling off the list at any point in the next 3 weeks. I fully expect this thing will be in the top 10 by the end. No shocker there. But then we have Cloyster from the Bridgeport Sandacondas, as the shiver goes back down my spine once again. Didn't show up this week, but you know, it's got a lot of kills. It's got a lot of kills from somewhere. It got them somewhere. And it's a very, very spectacular mon. It gets up a shell smash, and sometimes you just lose, and it's just that simple. You just lose to it, and that's okay. That's a perfectly acceptable and normal thing to happen, and you should never feel bad about it. Never at all.
No, never.
But yeah, great mon. And just goes to show, it's that offensive part of that offensive backbone of Deshaun's incredibly fat team, and it's effective. And we have Kieran Black from the Sligo Sandacondas, the other Sandacondas. We have a lot of Sandacondas representation up on these kill leaders now. Kieran Black, 12 kills, 5 deaths, +7 differential. Solid mon. I mean, it's Kieran Black. Pre-buff, actually. Pre-Gen 8 buff, which is even better. This thing, there's a good reason why this thing was banned as soon as they gave it physical Dragon Dance plus a physical ice move. There's a good reason why that made it bannable, because this thing was always like borderline. It had almost all the tools it needed to be a monster, but the ability to hit with physical ice moves, basically. And so when you give it that, yeah, that's why it got banned. But to see it still doing well back here, there's no surprise. It's one of those mons that, like, again, base 170 attack, base 120 special attack. You're not switching into it comfortably. You're never going to. It's one of those mons you either have like one of like the 5 designated counters to, or you have designated sacks for it.
Yeah.
It's one or the other. And he's been using it incredibly well this season. It's been a consistent threat in every single one of his matches, and to see it up here is no surprise. Then we have my Thunderous Incarnate, still hanging on to its spot up here. Gonna have to pick up a few more kills with it over the next few weeks. I want to make sure that I at least have him on the kill leaders by the end of the season. 12 kills, 6 deaths, +6 differential. I love Thunderous, man. I just really love Thunderous. I feel it has a lot of variability in what it can do a lot of the time.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
It's one of those mons that has been consistently solid for me over the course of the season. And plus, again, it doesn't hurt that Thunder Wave's 100% accurate in Gen 6. It certainly doesn't hurt its situation, but I'm not going to complain. I like being able to actually hit my Thunder Waves.
Yeah.
It's nice to be able to click Thunder Wave and know the yellow color's going straight forward. It's not going to the left. It's going straight forward. So, it's a change that I'm definitely realizing I miss way more than I did before.
Yeah.
So, Thunderous is putting in work, and hopefully it will continue to do so in these next 3 weeks. But last but not least, we have another member of the Bridgeport Sandacondas in Mega Metacham with 11 kills and 2 deaths with a +9 differential. I mean, we talked about the offensive backbone for Deshaun's team. This is the other mon carrying that weight, and has been consistently doing so. I mean, Mega Metacham is terrifying. It is an absolute demon to face because it's just so strong. Simple as that. Its attack stat is ludicrous. I'm pretty sure Adamant Mega Metacham with pure power included hits like 650, 656 or something like that. Like it's stupid. That's not acceptable. Like you give huge power or like pure power to Pokemon that have terrible attack stats. Then you give it to one with base 100. No. Stop it. So there's no surprise seeing this thing up here. It's consistently powerful mon and has put in a lot of work for Deshaun this season. So no surprise to see that here. We don't have any honorable mentions this week. All the mons below Mega Metacham are 1 kill below it, and so it's not worth mentioning. I like to only kick honorable mentions as like you were only off by alphabetical order or by number of deaths, but that's about it. So no honorable mentions this week. which is pretty cool. Keeps things simple. But yeah, this is our top 10. And realistically, I don't really see too many openings for a lot of changes going forward. So I very well wouldn't be surprised to see this be our top 10 at the very end of it all. I would be very shocked to see otherwise.
Yeah, I think the only way this list changes is if we start seeing some big 6-0 sweeps again.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely right. I think that's the only way that we're going to get any real variation up here, but I think a lot of these mons are pretty much locked in to the top 10 for sure. But with that, speaking of rankings, let's see how everyone's ranking in terms of the playoff bracket. Alright, so here is our playoff standings as of the end of week number 9. And we've had a tie broken, and we have some shifting going on all over the place. So, Alex, what do we have going on here? What's going on at the top of the board?
Well, after last week's full-blown tie between myself and Deshaun, both sitting at 7-1 plus 20 differential, tie's been broken now. And so you see myself and my Greenwich Girautinas sitting at the top of the division leaders, 8-1 record with a plus 21 differential. Deshaun right behind me, 7-2 now, but with a plus 19 instead. Our number 3 and 4 actually both are sitting at 7-2 as well. It's differential. They have a lower differential than one another and Deshaun. Steven's catching up though, actually, really quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Liam's not super far behind him.
Yeah, plus 17 and plus 12. That's some impressive differentials across the board. That's a lot of stellar teams up there. That's going to be really tough to beat for anyone. That's a tough foursome going forward. And that's out of all the divisions, I think we have 2 of those that are guaranteed locked, and one that's like 1 win away from locking, I think, at this point. So that's really, really impressive stuff. It's been quite the season for sure for all 4 teams. We could be seeing one of our season 15 champions right in this top 4, I think, for sure. That definitely feels safe to say. But with our wildcard spots, might be here to play spoiler. First off, we have Rennie and the Los Angeles Darkrais, currently sitting at 6-3 with a plus 8 differential. Very, very dominant performance. He's 1 win behind Liam in the Auckland Ambi-Poms, and only 4 differential points behind as well. So he is in prime position to overtake Liam as long as the 2 of them keep winning. If Rennie can pull off a win over Liam, that very well could propel him into the spot over him for sure. So it really comes down to that matchup. That's going to be the match to look out for, and the divisional match rematches these next few weeks. That's going to be the game to watch for sure.
For sure.
Because I think the outcome of that game, I feel like personally, that is going to be the 110% decider for the Marvel division, without a doubt in my mind. So that's going to be interesting to see. Then we have the Z Guardian Cocos, coached by Shawnee, sitting at 5-4 with a plus 1 differential. This division as well, this topless division, if Steven picks up 1 more win, I feel like he 100% locks his spot as division leader. It's just a matter of seeding at this point, and between myself and Shawnee, there's a very good chance both of us could completely fluctuate back and forth the whole time, without a doubt in my mind. We're both sitting at 5-4. He's at plus 1. I'm at minus 4. So not too far off in differential. 5 points separating the 2 of us. It really is going to come down to these final weeks as to where our seeding lands. If both of us can keep winning, we can keep our number of losses to a minimum. I think it's going to be interesting. That's going to be a match that's going to be something to watch when that comes around. I believe that's week 12 that the match is going to take place between the two of us. It's going to be basically the decider of which one of us stays in playoffs for that division, I think.
Yeah.
So it's going to be really fun to see. And then sneaking in at the bottom of the wild cards is Jason and the Niflheim Nine-Tailers. Sitting with a 4-5 record currently, +7 differential. This is interesting to see. He snuck his way on here, just barely, but he snuck his way on here. I think getting the big win over Jamie a couple weeks ago, I think that helped a lot for his differential, which is very huge for him.
It did.
But these upcoming weeks are going to be very, very crucial for him. He's been picking up pace a little bit past couple weeks. Definitely, he's going to have to bring his absolute A game going into the divisional rematches. He's the only person in his division who did not win a single one of his divisional matches in the first 3 weeks. So this is going to be... He's walking back into the buzzsaw of Rennie, Liam, and Chris once again. So it's going to be interesting to see if he's able to come through that on top. Definitely going to be interesting to watch. So that's going to be fun. It's a fun situation, and that is our current playoff standings. We do have obviously the other teams currently not in playoff contention. Couple that are pretty close, I'd say, that all have a very viable shot of making it in. Specifically, Chris and the Nottingham Neil Legos, and we have James and the Myrtle Magikarps, both also sitting at 4-5, just out currently by differential, -1 for Chris and -5 for James. With Jason walking into an absolute buzzsaw the next 3 weeks, one win by either guy is going to be a key decider as to who takes that last wildcard slot.
Yeah. Although James is hurt by the forfeit win from Jamie since he doesn't get the differential off of it.
Yeah, definitely. But, I mean, hey, sometimes you might just need the win. That might just be what he needs. As long as Jason doesn't win, that could be what gets James in. That could be what opens the door for someone like Chris as well. Just to sneak in. So it's going to be interesting to keep an eye on that last slot. That last slot's very, very up in the air right now.
It is, and a win is still a win, he said.
Yeah, and we have a couple people that have records not too far behind as well, that all have slight chances of sneaking up there as well. I mean, if realistically, as long as you're even at 3-6 right now, with how this last spot's looking, you could sneak in. You could sneak in. Any of these teams right here can sneak in. All 4 of these teams currently are sitting at 3-6 with varying differentials. All 4 of these teams could sneak in realistically. That's the crazy part about this is nobody is out of playoff contention right now.
No.
Scarily enough, in a weird world, technically, Alan could win out and make playoffs if the rest of these guys lose.
Yes.
That is insane. With how competitive this season has been, a 2-7 team going into divisional rematches could technically... There is a scenario where he makes playoffs. That blows my mind.
Yeah, no, you're right. It is pretty nuts.
Do I see it happening? I mean, he has to face Deshaun and beat Deshaun in order to do that.
He has to face end of the season, trying not to go to D-League Gap.
Yeah, so it's not really possible, but it's a scenario that exists.
Yeah.
But again, who knows? Everyone here is here because they have proven themselves at one point or another, and they have shown that they are the cream of the crop in the community right now. And anything can happen these next couple of weeks, and I'm personally excited to see how it all plays out, because the fact that the playoff race is this wide open right now. We have fucking 7 teams fighting over this one spot.
Yeah.
Just this one spot alone is being fought for. I mean, hell, realistically, 1 or 2. We have actually 9 teams essentially fighting over 3 spots, because realistically, me and Shawnee could both completely fall off and fall out of playoffs. So, like, that's the crazy thing about this setup. The only one I think is realistically safe is Rennie, and that's crazy. Everything from here down is completely up in the air. I love it. I love it. It's too good. It's way too good. Next couple weeks are going to be really, really interesting. And speaking of which, I think it's about time we look at our Week 10 matchups. All right, ladies and gentlemen, week number 10 has come around, and it is once again time to head into our divisions and throw hands. And divisional rematches are some of my favorite parts of the season. And yeah, it's going to be fun to see how all these teams shape out for these rematches. I'm really excited about it. So, Alex, take it away.
Well, as we discussed earlier, Allen needs to win out if he wants to make playoffs, but also he needs to fight tonight in the V-League. His uphill battle starts now with the Metals versus the Deshaun. Deshaun has only dropped 2 games this season. He showed us what his team was all about week 1 against the first time these 2 matched off. So I know Sean's not looking at Allen as a free win. I hope Allen still has his head in the game, or at least is going to try to have his head in the game. It'll be interesting to see what he brings now that he has an idea of how Deshaun will be on 1.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, this is definitely the game that, like, you want to get out of the way going into the rematches now. Like, you want to get out of the way and kind of, like, see where your future lies going forward in the next couple weeks. See, like, what realistically your goals have to be. This is the one you want to get out of the way first, for sure. Because then, like, the games against Eric and Gav for him are going to be the ones I think that are going to matter more. This is the one that, like, it feels like a David versus Goliath situation here. Realistically.
Yeah, because it is.
Yeah. So it's going to be fun.
Speaking about... It will be fun. Well, maybe not.
Not so much for Allen. But it'll be fun to watch.
Yes. But speaking of Gav and the uphill and the other battles, Gav and Eric, the Ega Slashers versus the Victinis. A game that is going to be trying to see who doesn't want to go to D-League more.
Yeah.
They're both in danger of it. They have the same record. They're doing better than Allen, so they don't... I mean, odds are everyone in that division is likely to drop 1 game.
Yeah.
To somebody.
Yeah, I think the games against each other are going to be the ones that are going to be, like, the crucial ones for them. The games amongst themselves are going to be the deciders.
That's probably going to be the most fun division to watch, honestly, just because they're... I mean, yeah, there's going to be people fighting for playoff spots, but these guys are fighting to stay, and that'll be more fun for us.
Yeah, because even if the other teams don't make it into playoffs, they know they still have another season of main league to try again. The climb back up from D League is always a rough one, so it's definitely something you want to try to avoid.
Yeah. Speaking of these climbs back into playoffs, we see going into our next division, Jason the Nine Tailors versus Rennie and the Dark Rise. Guys win. Jason needs the win in order to really stay in playoff contention. Rennie, like we said, we probably has it unlocked, so for him, this is probably more about bracket placement. It'll be a good game regardless. Hopefully, for Jason's sake, he brings the same sort of fire and game plans.
It's definitely going to be an interesting game to watch, for sure. Now Rennie wants to take that division leader spot away from Liam really badly. So it's going to be interesting to see how hard Rennie will go in this one, and how Jason will fare against it. It's going to be a really, really interesting matchup. Jason's been on fire past couple weeks, so this is going to be a really fun one.
Oh, for sure. Next up, same division. We have Chris and the Nihiligos going. Chris needs this win in order to get into playoffs. Realistically, he needs to take as many wins as he can get. Opening week of the season, Chris did hand Liam his first loss of the season. Liam's team is a lot different, though, and I actually don't think Chris's team can handle the changes. I'm being perfectly honest with you. I don't think he can break through Chansey and Mega Sableye with the team he has right now.
Yeah, I can't really disagree with you on that one. It's a tough matchup across the board, and he just doesn't really seem to have the tools. It's going to take a lot to even position himself into a situation where he can even get a leg up over Liam.
Yeah.
The changes to Liam's team were just too massive. It's going to be really, really tough to topple him for any team. I would love to see Chris come up with something that can do it. If he can, that would be fantastic. That'd be so cool to see. It's just not something that on paper seems particularly viable.
No, it's going to be requiring a lot of prep and a lot out of the box thinking on Chris's part. He's not going to be able to bring the standard stuff that he's always bringing in a lot of games in general that people bring, and that's just not going to work, especially when his biggest offensive threat outside of Dazzling Gleam can't touch Mega Sableye.
Yeah. This is gonna be one heck of a matchup. Definitely one that's going to be tough to see. It's gonna be tough to watch, I'm sure, because realistically, any match featuring either Deshaun's team or Liam's new team, it's not going to be the most fun game to watch, except for this week. Obviously, this week was the exception. That's because Deshaun and Alex are gods, and they deserve to be worshipped as such.
At least it's 6th gen.
Yeah, definitely. This generation has been very kind to both men. Speaking of Alex, though, look at you getting a win.
Yeah, I get to take a break after that game.
Honestly, I think we all need a break after watching that. I feel like I need to take a break after watching that.
Yeah.
And take a season off and train in the mountains. Or something. Train under a waterfall. Sit under a waterfall like the Bruno in the anime.
I don't know how I'm going to handle next season and to that, honestly. I don't think I can.
You definitely. That's going to be a game that that's your magnum opus. That's going to be one of the greatest games you ever perform. And that's the one. Like, if you could pick one game to show anyone 20 years from now, that's it.
Yeah. Well, that or the 45-minute 6-0 against Ken in the opening game of 2 seasons prior, but that's just funny.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
I like that. I like that game because it's funny.
That's completely fair. We have a matchup here with a battle of the Goon Boys. We have Jesse and the Jolteons taking on James and the Magikarps. James had a very good outing first time around through his division. He had a very, very strong showing in his division last time. Jesse, not so much. Jesse did not have a good time in his division at all. So it is going to be very interesting to see this one. I mean, everyone in this division is getting one win under the divisional block, so because of Jamie leaving, but trying to pick up those other wins is going to be very, very crucial for both of these guys. Jesse, because he's on the lower side of the 3 and 6 boys, so he's
He's still in danger.
he's still in danger, and that's not pretty. That's not a pretty place to be for anyone. But James, he's on the cusp of a playoff spot, and this is one of his most dominant seasons on the back of that Mega Gyarados, because people just kind of have let it do Mega Gyarados things. So
Yeah.
he definitely needs this win to solidify a potential spot in playoffs for him. So it's going to be these two are going to be really going at it. These two know each other really well due to being in the Goon squad together, Goon homies. So I'm very interested in this one, just for the simple Goon v Goon violence that it portrays. Speaking of Goon v Goon violence, we have another Goon v Goon matchup, although I am a more recent Goon. We have myself and the Anaheim Appletons taking on Steven and the Sligo Sandacondas in a rematch. And
You need this.
yeah, I need this win. I definitely need this win. I was able to beat Steven last time we played, but that was an incredibly close match, and he has been absolutely on fire.
Yeah.
Since then, I'm considering the only 2 losses he received were in the divisional matches last time, and I believe one of those losses was to James, who is no longer here.
Wait, no. Didn't Anthony beat him?
It might have been Anthony, actually. It might have been Anthony, I don't remember. No, it was Anthony.
Because Anthony lost to you and Jane.
Yes, that was the case. Yeah, so hopefully I can pull off the win again. I mean, he's been on such a hot streak. It's gonna be hard to kind of douse those flames, but hopefully I can pull it off and kind of keep myself in solid playoff contention. That's the goal at this point. I just want to keep myself in playoffs. I just want to make playoffs. I don't like not making playoffs. It just feels wrong. It's like my spot. Those are my spots. I want to be there again. I don't like missing out. We have another one from our division, our other match from our division. We have Anthony and the Windy City Bolt Strikers taking on Shawnee and the Z Guardian Cocos. Now, the interesting part about these Shawnee's matches are technically, even though a good portion of the team is still the same, technically these aren't rematches for him. So it's a fresh matchup for everyone. If you lost to James last time, you might not lose to Shawnee. So you might be very different play styles, very different rosters. It's going to be very interesting to see how these matchups play out because these are going to be very, very, very important for playoff seeding. This is going to be very crucial. Shawnee's games are going to be big. Anthony definitely really needs these wins as well. Definitely something. He's going to have to pick up at least one to feel really comfortable. Because he's not in the lower echelon of the 3 and 6s, but he's not like in a comfortable position. So a win for Anthony in any of these matches is going to be very, very big, I think, for him going forward. Certainly wouldn't hurt his position at all. Just to
For sure.
100% solidify his spot. I think that's going to be crucial for him. So any win will be nice. But that's our Week 10 matchups, and that is going to be the end of our Week 9 recap. Divisional rematch time. It's here, and it's exciting. So these next few weeks are going to be incredibly crucial, incredibly massive for everyone, and it's going to be very sweat-inducing. I'm already anxious about it, so it's going to be great. It's going to be a fun time, and I can't wait. Playoffs are going to be, and if you thought the regular season games were crazy, wait till we get to playoffs, man. Once these guys all get to playoffs, it's going to turn up to 11, and it's going to be absurd. Every match is going to be insane. I can't wait.
Oh, I can. The stress is.
Stress is monstrous, man. Stress is monstrous. But thank you once again for joining me, Alex. I always appreciate having you on.
Glad to be here, as always.
And yeah, another recap in the books. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys have enjoyed. Deshaun, I know you did. Shout out to you, my boy.
I hope he did.
He always does. He always does.
True.
He looks forward to this every week, and that's what makes me happy. Every time one of you guys says you look forward to these, every time you guys say you're looking for them and ask about them, it warms my little commissioner heart. So,
yeah.
Thank y'all.
More than these.
Absolutely. So thank y'all for the support. Makes us want to keep doing it, and we definitely will, for sure, going forward. I think we found a very good system to getting these done. So, appreciate y'all, and it's the support that keeps us motivated. So, with that being said, it's time to get out of here. My name is Jeff. His name is Alex. We are your lovely co-hosts because we're awesome. And we'll catch you guys next week. Peace.
See ya.